Thank you, Anthony, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Tabia, and I'm from the Badriyah team. And we're happy to have you here on our final stream. Anyone else just unmute and introduce.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm once again from the Badriyah The Stolen Pearl team, and I'm the 3D artist.
Hi guys, I'm Etisham, and as you know, I'm a lead engineer and programmer in Team Badriyah The Stolen Pearl.
We're happy to have all of you here for our final stream. We have a bit of a discussion that we want to go through first before we transition to showing you the current state of the game. We can, I guess, my first question to the team, I'll be answering these questions as well, will be what was the best thing about this game experience? What was, your most favorite part of it? Was there something you were stuck on and then figured out? Someone can take this question away.
I guess I could go ahead and start. I think there are two things that I found the most enjoyable while working on this game. So the first one is definitely coming up with the storyline. I found that really just enriching to come up with Darby as well, come up with a whole storyline and figure out the character Badriyah and who she is as a character, her background, things like that. So that was something that I definitely enjoyed doing the most. And the second part was definitely collaborating with Darby and Etisham to actually create the game. I think working in a team with you two has been like a really nice experience. So yeah, that's another thing that I really enjoyed.
I think
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead.
It's okay. I would say that the team was definitely one of my favorite things about this experience, if not the favorite thing. But in terms of work, I think I really appreciated, as Debbie said, the creative openness. So Debbie and I worked together on the story, and then we also all discussed elements of design and were able to come up with our own characters, the way they look, their hair, their dress. So that I think was the most valuable part, like the most fun thing to work on. Yeah, Tisham.
Yeah, same. I thought that even though we have like our roles like separate, but I love the way how we work together. Debbie made a puzzle, a whole script there, even though I was responsible for scripting everything, and then Darby worked on a story. So I really liked how we went ahead from our own particular roles to help with the teammates, and that's how we were able to at least come to this point in this kind of big game, because this is not a small project, like a third person game, and all the mechanics with all the artworks and everything. So yeah, I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work, and I'm really proud of what we've accomplished so far. I guess another question is, what was the most valuable thing that you learned? So we heard about, the fun parts or the things that we appreciate the most, but what was something that you learned that you maybe didn't think, you didn't expect to learn walking into this? If you guys need some time to think, I could go ahead. And again, it's something that is related to character design. I spoke about it yesterday. I've never designed like characters that needed to be consistent. So just seeing that I could do it was probably like the most important thing that I learned. Yeah, go ahead, Tisham, I think.
Yeah, so for me, I kind of messed around with these kind of games before, but making whole climbing system, like learning ray casting and the accuracy of it, making different layer collisions and deep learning about all these things, how they interact with each other, and all the colliders. It was kind of very enriching experience. But secondly, what I never did before this project was level designing. And So that I only like tried and tested, watched videos, and used my mind, like creative vision, like how we need to do that, and need to be, still everything needs to be relevant uh, to the genre of the game. So level designing was definitely something that I'm very thankful for this game. Like this was very important skill that I got.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Etisham. That's something that level designing is something that I had to also keep in mind while 3D modeling, because I couldn't just model something that looked nice. I had to also keep in mind how the game is going to be played and different things like that. So that was definitely like the most enriching part and the part that I learned the most in.
All right. My next question to you guys is a bit of a I don't even like this question myself, writing it out, but I think it's important. All right. I guess we stopped at the regrets question, where it's not really regrets, but if you guys would go back, is there anything you would like to change, or anything from your work that you're looking at now that maybe there was an easier way to do it? For me, I guess it was probably most definitely the cutscenes and the cutscene editing, because I kind of left that to the very last minute since I wasn't the one editing right back at the beginning. But I think taking charge of the cutscene editing would probably have benefited me now down the line when we're just finishing up the last two cutscene edits. What do you guys think?
I think for me, I would definitely maybe try to scale down a bit the not the look of the game, but the like the style, like stick with a specific style for like the environment or the assets, making it a bit like more simple than how I started off. But because I started off making it look a bit more like detailed, like when I now that as time is like running out, I have to like make everything match that, and it's like I'm kind of on a tight schedule. But if I think the one thing that I would do differently is maybe like stick with one specific art style and just do that for everything. But I don't know, I just found that quite hard to do, to conceptualize at the beginning. But now that I've like gone through this process, I've learned like what I'm meant to do and what I'm not meant to do and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that I would, it's not a regret, it's a it's a learning process that I went through. But yeah.
Yeah, similarly, like for me as well, I think how we managed the project was kind of very important. To finish it in time, for scripting, I would say like we started with making the player controller and then went ahead with other different things. But one thing, if I could go back in time, one thing I would do would be to start working on level designing earlier, because the thing is that no one can level design or gray box at their first try. They have to do it again and again, and then after playtesting you have to do it come again, and then change things, scale a few things up or down, and it's kind of a tedious task. So it should be given more importance other than other things like save system or menu or UI implementation. So yeah, that I would do.
I think a really nice conclusion for something new that we all learned is how important level design is. Because I remember even going into this, we weren't talking much about level design until it actually came time for us to do level design. And then we all realized how important it was. And I think Debbie, you had to adjust models to the level design or something. Yeah. All right, so moving on. I guess a question to all of us, all of the aspects of the game. Did we do everything as planned, or were there added new developments, or maybe some things that we initially wanted to do but ended up cutting because of time or because of a lack in human resources? What do you guys think? I think I can start this by saying that there were supposed to be 6 cutscenes, and then they got cut down to 4 cutscenes. So that was, some even further scoping down that I personally did. Yeah. What do you guys? I think also with scenes, we had some scenes just cut off. You guys can interrupt me whenever you want.
Yeah. You and I had to make some cuts to the story, because we were planning to do like more than one plot twist. We were going crazy at the beginning, but we cut it down to make it more like realistic for the timeline that we have. And yeah, that's all I can think of. Right. Oh yeah, we all Etisham and I also made some edits to the we called it the bridge scene, but it's no longer a bridge scene because it's just we plan to have like a problem solving kind of task there, in one of the scenes, but we removed that and just stuck with like one puzzle in that scene.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that bridge scene, we were thinking of, introducing some new mechanics where the player can pick certain planks and place them into, the rope bridge and, then pass over it. Now we just cut it down to, jumping over some broken planks. And the reason is that, those were like a hell lot of mechanics. So we didn't just cut that scene off. Because the main basic goal behind that bridge and the puzzle scene was that to give users a break from all the mechanics they were using, like climbing and fighting, right? So that they would be more, interested in the game, and therefore we decided to stick with the puzzle. But yeah, and also like for the player controller, I was also like going crazy in the start. I was thinking like totally Uncharted style climbing system where you can like climb anything, and you can there's like predicted calculated jumping from pole to pole, and that was very buggy and everything. So I decided to drop that idea because the thing is that if we can develop certain mechanics to their full extent, like to make them bug free and everything, they're better than having like a lot of mechanics with a few bugs in them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this question is like something that just math is very relevant, I would say, to the context of our team, since we've been scoping down our ideas and trying to like think inside the box, because we have such wild, and wild expectations, and we set high goals that we realize that we couldn't meet in this very short time that we have developing this game. And so I think it's been a constant process for us to either downsize or like add something that would be easier to do than something else. Yes. All right. I think I have one final question for the team to think about, not really think about, but more list out. What do you guys think you each have left to do for this game before we have a sort of complete prototype that, has a story from the beginning to the end? For me, it's again editing those cutscenes, and I still don't know how to use the software, and I'm figuring it out tomorrow. So that is what I have left for cutscenes 3 and 4. What about you, Debbie? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, this is kind of a hard topic for me to take now because I've been working on the cave for so long, but I think I'm gonna just stop doing that and move on. I'm just gonna accept what I have now, and I'm gonna send it to Etisham to work on. But and what I have left to do is, so I need to do the desert scene, which is the scene right after the cave scene, the final scene, and then after that, I'm gonna go back to the beginning to start texturing what I've already modeled. But I want to get done with the modeling like this week so that I can start working on the Etisham, the 3D like cutscenes basically. Yeah.
Yeah, we got them. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So
But I
I
think
want to
for
finish
them,
that.
yeah, you have like a lot on your plate because I'm waiting on you to give me that cave so that I can do some gray boxing in there, and then of course textures. I will just put things there, and I'm working on making it bug free because in our recent playtest we are getting some complaints about bugs in combat system. There the lags and spikes in there, so I'm gonna make the quality a little bit down, and then that's mainly what's left for me. Yeah.
Do you know what, Etisham, I'm gonna send you the cave today because I want to hold myself accountable. I'm gonna send it to you today. I'm gonna stop working on it and I'll send it to you right after this stream so that I can move on. But
Yeah, I will spam your messenger. I will ask for the cave for every like 1 hour so that I can get it and start working on it, because that's the one big level. For the castle, we decided to go all outside so that we won't be able to spend much time to make all the inside with all the adornments and everything. But then even that was kind of tough, for making the whole level and thing. For the cave, it is definitely a hell of a job to model it. But I think even if we stick to, even if the scenes are kind of redundant, with gray boxing and level designing, we can make every place look different. That's kind of a goal for our cave. So I think that's one thing I would need to do as well. By the end of, maybe by the mid of the next week, I think I will finish gray boxing cave.
All right, and the cave should be our final scene, and hopefully then we'll be able to show all of you a final Badriyah state for this summer. Do you guys have any thoughts you would like to bring to this conversation? If chat has any questions, now is the time to ask them. I don't know, do you guys have something you want to discuss, or something you would like us all to talk about before Itisham starts his screen share, so that we can all, watch a proper playthrough of the game? No? All good? Itisham, then I think this is your cue to start the screen share. All right, guys, just give us a moment as Itisham screen shares. Are you using the Badriyah model, Itisham, in this one? Or not yet?
Not particularly. So right now the game, the project which I have is not in a very playable state, but I hope that my screen is being shared.
It is being shared.
Everyone should be seeing that now, just pulling that up.
All right. Cool. So I will just kind of maximize this theme view and close this window. So I was finalizing this castle gray boxing because there were a few bugs in it. And then I will move on to the cave. So as you can see, it is pretty basic, and we have to do something about all these blocks and things like that. But I have a few things that I found online for free, just like this. There's tent here, Emirati style tent, and then we have a little tower house here, and we had a basement level as well. Where was it? So yep, in the basement level we have these little things like these barrels and the wooden shelf here and the stone pillar and these pillars actually. So with all these rest of the things, thinking of I'm thinking of what objects can we put here. We can have a sort of a light here, and a medieval style, and then that's basically what's left like for polishing. But like for the level, it is playable in its current condition, and I also implemented this ladder system, and I got this thing like a basement door from online, like for free. So whatever I'm getting for free right now, I'm just putting these things inside, and then the rest I think we'll have to find some things and then model them and by tweaking them. So I haven't started working on the cave yet, but the house part and this part is left. And as Debbie said, um, that we have to make those 3D kind of cutscenes. They won't be like basically animated, but I think what we could do is just like take videos from like the game and then edit that just to avoid using the Unity timeline, because that tool is kind of very difficult to work with because you have to do every little detail, like the animated movies and mess. So yep. And after this scene there would be like a castle scene. After this scene there would be a cave scene left, in which what we're going to do is basically it will also have like a mix of climbing and combat systems, and then it will give like a little bit different environment, because here everything is open. We will be placing like random desert houses, like Emirati style houses, because when player comes on these walls, like like at this point, they will be able to see outside, right? So we will place some desert and things like that. So that will all be done like in final polishing. So right now I was just testing this part. My player is here. I'm not using Badriyah right now, but I have her model and I can show you how she looks here. So let me go to that scene actually. Using climbing level demo. So I am yet to put like a rig on that character, but so first, as Debbie said, we decided to go with like a little pixel based character. So we thought maybe this kind of you know modeling and combined with basically cell shader or toon shader would be the way to go. But then we realized that with the characters and the environment, the art assets are not like going with one another very. I mean, it would be difficult to, as you have seen, like the oil barrels and things, and this house as well. So we have modeled it by looking at real inspirations. We could not make them like cartoonish or pixel based things. Therefore, we thought like we will basically cell shade this Badriyah, not the pixel one, but like this one, and we will put a rig to her, and then we will make put scripts and everything, and then go with her rather than going with this pixel based Badriyah, because it would be, imagine playing with her in an environment that is filled with certain like low poly but realistic textures. So that's where we are at right now in terms of deciding
Add
for
on,
art assets.
just to add on to what
Sorry?
Itisham is saying. No, I just want to add something. Is that it still like achieves our goal of making our character stand out, even if she's just a little bit, smoother and not as polygony as the version on the right. I still think it achieves, our original goal of making our characters stand out against our backgrounds and environments. So yeah, I like it a lot.
Yes, that's true. Actually, the smooth character would work well, I guess. Yeah. So I will go back to the castle scene, and regarding the mechanics, I think the castle scene is quite playable. I was just looking into certain scaling a few things, because after first gray box, I decided to not play test everything while I'm gray boxing, because that's a very bad habit to do, because it consumes like a lot of time. Right now, our character would be somewhere here on this little tower house thing, and then I also got another asset I will show you in a minute. Let it load first. There are many like good sites like Turbo Squid and Sketchfab. You can get like free assets from their free license, and there are also like good paid assets like cheap. For instance, there was a medieval things pack, which we would basically get in like I think $10. It had like a lot of things, like this table, set of daggers. This was free actually. So just like this is a castle, and castle are meant to be like a fortress kind of things. So we would put things like this and other objects, whichever would make sense. But that's important that it must make sense, right? So let me. I have turned their health to like 10ish, so that they die like whenever I hit them. So yeah, coming up with like ideas about like these little houses and everything is kind of very difficult thing to do. And then when you play test, you have to go around and edit everything. So I was waiting on Debbie to send me a cave, but in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that things like this doesn't happen, because at this particular moment she should be able to hang to this ledge. Wait, let me finish this card. At least like now we have that other miscellaneous things like respawning and reload and this whole pause menu system and settings and everything done. Then we can just focus on polishing and detailing these things and fixing these bugs. So that's what our goal would be after this.
All right, Sham, is there anything else you would like to share, or is this it for now?
I think this is it for now, because we haven't been able to like go inside the cave for grey boxing and everything. But this is the progress. There's just like I think 2 weeks remaining, and we have to go through all these books. That's why I was saying like one little bit of regret was that I should have started earlier on this thing.
Yes, but it's okay. We didn't really know much about level design before this, or at least I didn't at all. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's been, for joining us this entire summer, honestly, I think we've done a lot. And yeah. Does anyone have any closing words or goodbyes?
No, just
Yeah,
thank you
yeah, Debbie, you
Sorry.
can go, please.
Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with us. We really hope that you enjoyed watching us work on our game. And yeah.
Yeah, same. I really enjoy like making all the streams. I had zero experience in, streaming and working, and it was kind of like a pressurizing thing at first, because sometimes in a task like gray boxing and even with scripting there are many bugs, and you take a break, you go out, drink some juice and take some fresh air, come back with a new perspective and think, all right, so that's what I was doing wrong. But with streaming you can't do that. But what I tried was basically to not prep in advance, not creating scripts in advance, just because that we can like share like live how we experience while creating the scripts and everything. As if you have seen like my previous streams with save system and other things, we were getting like a lot of bugs, and then with play testing as well. So it was very good experience, and I really enjoyed streaming, and I hope that you guys also enjoyed watching it. And even after the streaming ends, even if you have any questions regarding anything with scripting, with like making this kind of system, I would be very happy to help. And yeah, thank you.
Feel free to reach out to any of the team members on our Discord. There's the Badriyah General channel. I think you'll be able to find all of us there by just mentioning or even talking in that channel. And yeah, thank you guys very much, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.